Five Nights at Freddy's 2, two secret animatronics were found. One could appear in parts and service while the other could spawn in your office and crash your game. These two are quickly named Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie by the community, and they go on to appear in the next game, Five Nights at Freddy's 3, where they serve a much more important role than they did in the second game. In the Follow Me mini-games, Shadow Freddy is seen luring the original animatronics to the safe room only to be dismantled by William Afton. In the Corner Freddy Easter egg could also be Shadow Freddy, but I believe this is more of a hallucination Michael is having of Golden Freddy rather than it being Shadow Freddy, mainly due to Corner Freddy missing the glowing eyes and teeth. Shadow Bonnie is also in FNaF 3, and is later seen helping the puppet with the happiest day by giving the second to last kid a cake. Also, he's purple. Don't know why. Unless you want to count Nightmare and the shadows on the wall, Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie do not appear in the fourth installment of the franchise. They do, however, make a return of FNaF World as playable characters. FNaF World actually teaches us something about the two. Shadow Freddy wants to eat your soul, and Shadow Bonnie is dyslexic. Shadow Bonnie is a character you can get early on and isn't really that good. His attacks consist of Unscrew and Escape Key, both having a chance to one-shot any opponent, and his last attack is Water Hose, which is guaranteed to one-shot any opponent under 30% health. Shadow Bonnie, on the other hand, who I will from now on be calling RWQ, is one of the rarer characters, and one of the best. RWQ is more of a support character, with abilities like Gift Box to revive your team, Haunting, which uses Ghost Freddy to freeze enemies to stone, and... No! Bad Mimic! Bad! As I was saying. And the Mimic Ball, which repeats the attack used by your team and also uses Virtua Freddy to attack. They do get recolors as opponents in the form of Dreadbear and White Rabbit. They don't add to anything, just thought I should mention them. After FNaF World, the two skip Sister Location and Pizzeria Simulator, they do make a return in Ultimate Custom Night on Dee Dee's roster, but it's only RWQ who appears, as Shadow Freddy is nowhere to be seen. White Rabbit's even an Easter egg that can spawn on your desk. In 50/20 mode, when XOR spawns every animatronic on the roster, or if RWQ is selected by Dee Dee in a normal night, it will spawn in your office and make the room pitch black for 10 seconds. Shadow Freddy is somewhat referenced in Help Wanted when you play Freddy's Parts and Service mode on hard mode in the form of Dark Freddy. And no, FNaF Encyclopedia, he's not from Special Delivery. RWQ makes an appearance there, and it might be his most interesting. If you collect enough Dark Remnant, RWQ appears, and if you can't scare him off with your flashlight in time, it will kill you. RWQ makes an appearance as a cardboard cutout in Curse of Dreadbear and Security Breach, but aside from that, he nor his grisly counterpart have been seen since. In the 6th book of the Fazbear Fright series, Blackbird, the third and final short story is called Hide and Seek. In it, we follow a kid named Joey, who in a desperate attempt to get a higher score than his older brother, Connor, cheats in Fazbear Entertainment's newest game called Hide and Seek by blocking RWQ from going into certain hiding spots. And once the game starts, RWQ is nowhere to be seen. In anger, Joey destroys the game and runs off before anyone can catch him. When he goes to bed, Joey has a nightmare where he's on an operating table and something is sewn on his back. Upon waking up, he goes to his mirror and sees his shadow. He soon notices the shadow has rabbit ears, but when it doesn't leave, he tries to get RWQ off of him, but can't. After an argument with Connor, Joey realizes he was a loser, only because of how competitive he was towards his brother. And upon realizing this, he sees that RWQ is now smaller and weaker, coming to the conclusion that RWQ only wanted to win. Eventually, Joey returns to Freddy's and finds the game is being rebuilt. He restores power to it and it asks if he wants to forfeit. He almost presses yes to end the torture, but he decides not to as he believes RWQ had cheated by making Joey harm himself. So he slams his hand on the continue button. In anger, RWQ pushes Joey onto a sharp object, and as Joey bleeds to death, he feels RWQ leaving him, and he whispers to himself that he'd won. Now that I've given you a history lesson on the two Shadow Animatronics, we still don't know what it is they are, but I think I might have come up with an answer. In Sire Squawk's video, The Blood and Flame, he proposes the Red Lake in UCN and FNaF World is the blood of Cassie, which she drowned in when she died to a spring lock failure within the Fredbear suit that would later go on to become Golden Freddy. It's a good video, and I highly suggest you go check out his channel if you haven't already. But this video got me thinking. If a child were to be killed in such a gruesome and slow way, they'd be in a lot of agony. If you understood why I put so much emphasis on that word, you probably already know what I'm about to say, but for those of you who don't, in the books, you have Remnant in Agony. Remnant is based off more of the positive memories, and is the main source of possession, while Agony is the exact opposite, and is fueled by negative memories. In FNaF AR, Special Delivery, rest in peace, we finally get to see Remnant and are introduced to Dark Remnant. Like the books have illusion discs and the games have illusion gas, I propose Dark Remnant is the game's version of Agony. Dark Remnant appears in a dark purple with a bit of black, a stark contrast to Remnant's light white and a bit of pink. The name even implies they're opposites. With this knowledge, I believe Shadow Freddy was born from the agony of Cassidy. Golden Freddy and Shadow Freddy have always been shown to have some form of connection. Wherever Golden Freddy is, Shadow Freddy is always nearby. They even share the same appearances. In FNaF 3's Follow Me minigame, Shadow Freddy has no withering in both of his ears. The same time when Golden Freddy would have both of its ears and no withering. And in FNaF 2, Shadow Freddy is missing the exact same ear and has the same withering as Golden Freddy. This would explain why Shadow Freddy lures the animatronics to the safe room. Cassidy is shown to choose tormenting William rather than being free, so it makes sense for her agony-given form to want the exact same thing. Whether or not Shadow Freddy knew William destroying the animatronics would free their spirits, or if Shadow Freddy didn't know and was just sending the animatronics in hopes that one of them would kill William and be able to enter the safe room, we don't know. But no matter what, Shadow Freddy's actions led to William's death. This would also explain Shadow Freddy's aggressive line in FNaF World. With Shadow Freddy out of the way, let's talk about the rabbit. RWQ is a strange case. We know it must have been created at the FNaF 2 location due to it resembling Toy Bonnie. It can't be the agony of the children killed at the location because William kills them on day 6. We know this because phone guys call on that night.
Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it. Now none of them are acting right.
And RWQ can appear before that night. Let's go back to Dark Remnant's appearance. Dark purple with a hint of black. Now where have we seen that color before? If one person's agony taken form had the same color as Dark Remnant, it'd be plausible for multiple people's agony merged together to have a darker tone. So let's say if, I don't know, the agony of Gabriel, Jeremy, Susie, and Fritz merged together and took form, it'd be black. Just like RWQ. I know it sounds crazy, but it somewhat makes sense. RWQ is the only Shadow animatronic to actually help the kids and set up Happiest Day. Cassidy only cares about William, and the kids just want to be free. So of course they'd help the marionette with gathering the missing children for Happiest Day. RWQ is only ever hostile to people messing with Remnant due to it associating those actions with Afton. In UCN, RWQ is hostile towards the player because A, Cassidy, and B, you are literally playing as William Afton. It is unclear if RWQ is aggressive towards Jeremy Fitzgerald or Michael during FNaF 2, but RWQ's presence will crash your game, like Golden Freddy in FNaF 1, but not like Golden Freddy, there isn't any jump scare. It's unknown what caused the original animatronics agony to merge. It was rather when they were being taken apart to build the toy animatronics, or when they spotted William when he worked the night shift. They took the form of Toy Bonnie due to their last memory alive being of a cartoonish rabbit. A very negative memory, I might add. So they took the form of Toy Bonnie due to him fitting that description. It's very likely that the reason Shadow Freddy's name is actually readable and RWQ's is that is because RWQ has multiple people's agony within it, causing its name to look like multiple people trying to talk at once. Shadow Freddy only has Cassidy's agony, so it's able to speak normally. We know RWQ is still roaming, making sure people don't tinker with Remnant in hopes to prevent another man like William Afton to harm others with it, but we don't know about Shadow Freddy. Maybe it merged with Cassidy before the last Follow Me minigame. Cassidy doesn't need to be lured by Shadow Freddy as it's nowhere to be seen. It's possible that Hide and Seek was trying to tell us that instead of RWQ sewing itself to Joey, Shadow Freddy sewed itself to Cassidy. Maybe the combination of Cassidy's Remnant and Agony allowed her to create Ultimate Customite, and finally get to torment William for eternity. Hey everybody, this was a very different video from what I've done before here on the channel, and I'll probably never make a theory video again because, well, I'm no theorist. I'm working on the script for my interpretation of the FNaF timeline, which I hope to release on August 8th for the 10-year anniversary.
Motherfucker!
This popped in my mind, and I decided to make the video, because why not? Do I think my theory is correct? No. This is FNaF we're talking about. We'll probably get evidence in the next release that contradicts everything I said. But I do like it, and I am planning on sticking with it until a better theory about the two comes out, or the theory is just straight up disproven. If you made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing, liking, or commenting, so the comment section doesn't feel left out. If you have subscribed and you want to know whenever I upload, then make sure to turn on notifications, as I do not have an upload schedule. Whatever you choose to do, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!